Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to Formula Sean. I need to work on the intro. There's too many Seans in the first few seconds of these streams and videos. But how are we all doing this evening or afternoon or morning, wherever you are in the world? It all looks a little bit familiar, but slightly freshened up. I'll give myself that credit there. But it's been a quick turnaround to get all this sorted. So we might work on some overlays and things for next season. But yes, ready to go for qualifying. The Mexico City Grand Prix qualifying watch on, of course. Lots of familiar names in chat. I'll give you some shout outs in just a moment, but yeah, thank you first of all to everybody who watched that video on Friday. I know it wasn't a very exciting video and it wasn't all, you know, juicy gossip and exciting, but it was honest, and I sort of wanted to let you all know what was going on. So I appreciate the views on there. I appreciate everyone who subscribed over the last week or so, and also an extra shout out to some people who have reached out in the last week to check them okay. Other creators, a massive thank you to those guys. You know who you are. Appreciate the goodness. So yes, apparently look a bit pink. It could be the camera. I've got it on HD rather than 4K. I'm not sure I'll be able to handle 4K, but I could turn that down if we need to. If it gets a bit too much for people, or we'll put it to a different color. It's fine, but we can sort that over time. But we're here. So yeah, just if you didn't catch that video, no problem at all. But just to let you all know, this is why I've gone live a little bit earlier, just to let you know what's going on. I will be over here a lot more than I will be over on the F1 word, but I will still be over on the F1 word. But this is going to be the new home of the qualifying watch-alongs and a few other things as well. Bring back some old style F1 word content, but also, and I know a lot of you in chat will love this if you haven't heard me say this already, the race reactions on a Sunday post-race will be back in due course. It won't be this weekend, and it might not be Brazil, but they are coming, and at the absolute latest, they'll be here for next season. So very much looking forward to this one, and just a huge shout out to everyone again. So let's do some shout outs in chat before we get going. So please do share the stream as well, by the way. Will be great to get as many here as possible. I'm not expecting 1,500, 2,000 people like we usually get on these at all, but the more the merrier. The more the merrier. Help the channel get a bit of a boost from the start. So hey to Jack, of course. I've already made you a mod, mate. Hope you're well. He's here to judge me, as always, of course. Hey to RC. Would expect you here all the time, mate. Dave as well. Hey, Dave. Hope you're well. Thank you for your comment actually on the video yesterday. That was very kind of you. Hey CPB, same to you, mate. Hey to Pascal, says good evening Sean in chat. I hope you're well. I think this will be a great qualifying session. Hopefully it looks close. We'll go through the FP3 order in just a moment. Hey to Etapel as well. I've probably butchered that. I apologize. I know who you are, but I think I always butcher your name. Says at this point Max is a safer bet for pole. Hey to Alfie. Hey to Josharoo as well. Says howdy, hi. Hey mate. Hey to, I saw somebody else. Nick is here as well. Hey Nick, hope you well. We're ready to go. Hey to Neelish as well. Lots of familiar names. Mike, hey Mike. Hey to Sir Ken Charlotte. In fact, Mike says 7 a.m. here. Can we have all quality at this time, please? It's a good time, isn't it? Get it out of the way in the morning. I quite like the evening ones as well, if I'm honest, Mike. And I saw somebody else as well pop up. Hey to Dex, to Psycho Don. Hope you're all having a fantastic Saturday and looking forward to quality. Like I say, FP3 was very, very close this morning, or this afternoon, wasn't it here? So as the Ken shot, it's 3:30 p.m. here. So yeah, we'll run through the practice order in just a moment. Just to let you know, the stream will feel very familiar. And the race watch along, by the way, will be on the F1 Word tomorrow. And when you go over there, this will all look a little bit different, but it's all going to be very similar, and it'll be green behind me. So let me know what you think of the light behind me, and I'll tweak that throughout the stream, and we can try and get it right. But I'm quite happy with it being red. I quite like it pinky red. It looks quite cool. But yes, let's run through that order then. FP3, like I say, really, really close out there. So Lando Norris fastest this morning. It's been an interesting weekend, actually, because we had Max Verstappen quickest yesterday, wasn't he, in FP2? I think we had Charles Leclerc, was it, in FP1? So it's quite close out there, but you look at those lap times there, not so much, I suppose. Lewis Hamilton, 3.5 tenths back in second place. Then it's George Russell in third, Charles Leclerc fourth, and Oscar Piastri fifth. Piastri, again, not really at the races this weekend. Norris seems to have the upper hand, but it is only practice. Qualifying is the one that matters, followed by the race, of course. Max Verstappen only P6. He wasn't happy yesterday, was he, with the race pace in that Red Bull? So hopefully they've done something, because I'd hate it. I'd hate it if Max Verstappen got back into the title race and then it all fell apart immediately. Long way to go this weekend yet, of course. Kimi Antonelli 7th, Isack Hadjar, good session for him, up in 8th place. Yuki Tsunoda's up pretty good this weekend, I think, so far. Not, max levels of good, but still pretty good. 9th place there for him. Gabriel Bortoletto 10th, Liam Lawson 11th, Esteban Ocon 12th, 13th for Lance Stroll, 14th for Nico Hulkenberg, 15th for Carlos Sainz, 16th for Alex Albon, 17th for Ollie Bearman, 18th for Pierre, 19th for Franco Colapinto, and 20th for Fernando Alonso. Alonso had some issues between FP2 or this morning, before FP3 with his car that had to be fixed, so probably why he's down there. I don't think Aston Martin are threatening for pole today, but I don't think an Aston Martin in the hands of Fernando Alonso is 1.9 seconds off the pace. So there we go. I don't want to know about Jack and his pants and his toothbrush. It still haunts me to this day, and it's been how many years? Way too many years. I have to admit as well, as I said to Jack in chat, actually, I was really, really nervous coming into this, even though, and I did go and work this out, I've streamed 426 times over on the F1 Word, and I'm still nervous today. I think it's because I care, and I want this to do well. I'd hate to not be able to do this anymore. So let's see. It's been 5 years since the pants thing, Jack. Good Lord. That'll mean nothing to some people, but there you go. We've got quite a way to go to qualifying yet, 34 minutes. So any questions about this channel, what's happening over on the F1 Word, any intro ideas? I'm thinking just, hey guys, Formula Sean here. That kind of works, doesn't it? So might go down that road. Anything about F1 as well. I'll do some Q&A with you all. I'll have a bit of interaction. I want this channel to be more old school F1 Word, so it's more community driven. You guys are involved in the chat a lot more, and I think we do that anyway quite a bit, but we'll try and get the midweek streams back as well. I know John T really wants those. I know CPB wants the master stream as well, so we'll go for it. Thank you very much to MSC Biles. Says, don't be nervous, Sean, we're here for you. Thank you very much, mate. I think it is just because I care, and thank you too for your really lovely words on the video yesterday and in the post actually on the the channel. That they really mean a lot, those sort of things. So thank you very much. It's fantastic to know that there's so many out there that support me, and actually 350 odd people came straight over here. So please do sub, by the way. Don't forget, we're going to be pushing that a lot over the next few weeks. So once we get to a good number, I'll shut up about it, I promise. You know how I hate doing stuff like that. And obviously the channel is not monetized yet, but if you do want to support the streams and the channel, you can do it on buymeacoffee.com/Formula Sean F1. But as always with anything like that, there's no pressure at all. If you want to, amazing. If you don't, that's fine as well. We're just going to be a nice community again. When the new video on the channel, by the way, I get nervous too when coming here, says Dex. I don't blame you. When will there be a new video? The video content will start next week, Dex. We'll do the stream this weekend. I'll see if Jonty's up for midweek one next week. He might not be, but we'll see how we go. But there'll be video content next week, probably middle towards the end of the week. I'd like to get at least one out next week, ideally two. I won't be doing much for the F1 word next week, so I should be okay for that one. But then obviously the following week I'm on the preview, so yeah, we should be good. We should be good. There'll be video content very soon. I don't want to leave it. I don't want to do what I did with the Formula E word. Start a new channel, get it going, and then just never upload there and quickly delete it. So we're not doing that one. So and just so you know, you have at least your first international subscriber already with me. There you go. Thank you very much, mate. Your support is massively appreciated, as always. A phrase I've used a lot. Eru's here as well. Hey, Eru. Talking about pants and toothbrushes. Goodness me. And RC says, are we talking coffee prices or Lincolnshire coffee prices? London coffee prices or Lincolnshire? Depends how rich you are, RC. If you want to give me London coffee prices, feel free, mate. But whatever. It's absolutely fine, mate. No worries at all. A Wednesday waffle stream. It would be great, says CPB. Yeah, definitely. I kind of miss the just sitting down and talking, and I appreciate this is going to be so almost hypocritical because it's all we do on this channel, but I kind of miss the just sitting down and talking nonsense. I know we do that in between sessions and before and after qualifying and before and after races. We've always done that, but I mean just coming in with no real specific idea and then someone asks this amazing question. And think back to testing streams earlier this year when somebody asked about the who'd driven under the Irish flag, and then me and Stuart were like an hour and a half down this rabbit hole and we don't know where we ended up. It ended up with Yock and Rinse somehow. So that's the kind of thing we love. And swearing, I don't care about swearing. Not monetized, so it doesn't matter at the minute, does it? Thank you very much, by the way, to Dave the Fish, who sent some money over on Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you very much, mate, for your support. That's very kind of you, very generous. Thank you very much, dude. I think you can send a message over there. So if you do want to, then please do. It says, enjoy a waffle. There we go. I'll get a waffle. I'll go to Madame Waffle in Lincoln. Yes, that's a real place. But thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. Are you bringing Patreon back, says Edgar? I am. Funny story. It was supposed to be sorted for this stream, but I started my new Patreon page and then I got thrown out of it by Patreon, who now need to review it to make sure that I'm not a dodgy person. They had suspicious activity. I put my name in and my address and it came up with suspicious activity, which now has me a little bit concerned about what's linked to this address and my name. But it will be hopefully for the for next week. I'll get it sorted. But yeah, I'll try to if you want to support me over there. So thank you very much. Are you concerned at all that Planet F1 might privatize your old videos or won't give you permission to upload the old videos on this new channel? Says CPB. I've got no concerns about that. We've got an agreement in place, like I said in the video, that is I'm going to be doing freelance stuff over there. The running of that channel is entirely up to me. I can put out as much or as little as I want to. And that's it, really. So there's no concerns about videos being privatized. I can't bring them over here because when they bought the channel, of course, they bought all the intellectual property rights to all the videos that I'd done, so they own all of those. But there's nothing to say that I can't update some of them and make them over here. I mean, the why is Lewis Hamilton so hated one? I don't think he's hated anymore by many, is he? So I don't think there'd be any need for that. But yeah, I can still make videos similar to that and do them again, but not concerned at all. But no concerns over rebranding either. If they want, it's their channel, CPB. If they want to, they absolutely can. I don't think that's the intention, but I didn't think 12 months down the line I'd be sat here doing this. So things change, don't they? So that's it, really. The F1 word still important to me, but this is now as important, if not more so. So that's my focus now. Exactly, RC. It's as simple as that. Joshua says 9:30 a.m. here in New Zealand. Sunny sunny spring day. Good to have an independent channel again. Love your work as always. Keep it up. Thank you very much, mate. It will be very independent. I say independent. Big shout out to Lewis Bloomfield, who did the logo and the banner. I gave him such a vague brief, and he came back with that, and I loved it. I was like, that is exactly what I'm after. It looks like an F, but it also has the S in there. It's perfect. So thank you to him. He's working on some other stuff as well for me. So thank you very much to Lewis. So the content will be me, but the graphic design, I'm going to be poking him quite a bit for that. So definitely, he's a star. Absolute star. How popular is Liam Lawson over there? Nick the Greek has asked Josh Aru. Well, he's popular in this house. I like Liam Lawson a lot. I think I've said that more than a few times, haven't I? So hopefully he can keep hold of that seat. I was just to get back to F1, actually, I was quite interested this week to hear that, or to read, I didn't hear it, they didn't tell me, but to read that Red Bull are considering now not dropping Yuki Tsunoda, and that it will be Max Verstappen, or could be Max Verstappen and Yuki Tsunoda next year, which a lot of people will probably be like, what on earth are they doing? But actually, I still think that's a very sensible thing to do. That 2026 car is going to be so different to these cars. It's not going to be that far developed. Yuki Tsunoda might thrive in that Red Bull next year, and his experience could be critical. So I think keeping him, even for the first half of next season, makes a hell of a lot of sense. So I think that, I was surprised, but I think that was a really good decision if they do go down that road. There is still the possibility it's Hadjar and Verstappen. It may well be that they move the Yuki down to Racing Bulls again, but to keep him on board in some way, I think would make a lot of sense, especially now the power unit manufacturers. Jacques Villeneuve made a stupid but also brilliant comment yesterday. I would love to see Alex Palou in Formula One. I think he does have Red Bull written all over him, but to talk about Yuki Tsunoda lacking the experience in F1 and then to say Alex Palou should replace him, I'm not sure I'm on board with that one, really. I think Alex Palou in some capacity would be great, but I think saying that Yuki lacks experience and then saying bringing someone who hasn't raced in F1 before doesn't make any sense. But that is very, very Jacques Villeneuve, isn't it? So we've come to expect that one. Apparently it's 3-1 to Brentford. Could this day get any better? Just in a Ferrari or a Max Verstappen pole now, and I'll be dancing by the end of it. That's incredible. Neelish, as I read on the race, that Hadjar sounded like the seat was basically his. He's just waiting for the announcement in a media session. So it may well be then either I've misinterpreted what's out there, and maybe it's Yuki's going to go down to Racing Bulls, perhaps. Maybe is what we're thinking here. But I think the noise is that Yuki's going to stay on in some capacity. And I still think that's sensible, but I Red Bull sensible, really? There you go. Kieran says a Man United one. Yes. Oh, don't we make it hard for ourselves, though? Jesus Christ. 3-0 up and cruising. Somehow get it back to 4-2 or 3-2 in a blind panic. And thank you, God, for Brian and Boomo. That's all I'm going to say. But yes. Yeah, Chelsea fans not happy. Nick's a Chelsea fan. The day was already shit. That's fair enough. Yeah. I got the same issue on Sky, says Pascal. What's happening on Sky? Yes. Yeah, no, I saw that. They're in the old ratio, weren't they? It's now full screen now, so it's all good. But yeah, 3 wins in a row, Dave. The United Strand is on the brink of a haircut. And if he wants to send what he cuts off to me, I'd be happy with that. That's a bit of a gross image, isn't it? Supposed to wear wigs of real hair, but there you go. Anyway, we are still 24 minutes away from quali, but I think it's going to be a close one. Yeah, I think the Red Bull situation, that seems to be where the big question mark is. I know you've got Colapinto and you've got Paul Aaron fighting for that Alpine seats. It seems to be that's going to be one of those internal promotions, or they're going to leave it as it is. They're not looking at anybody on the outside. So I think the Red Bull one's the intrigue, but I'll say it again, and I'm going to say it for the first time on this channel. So if you are from the F1 word, which it looks like most of you are, if not all of you, you've heard this 100 times this year. I'm going to say it again. Arvid Lindblad needs another year in F2. He is not ready for Formula 1. He did a good job in FP1, as they're showing on Sky now, but we don't know fuel loads, we don't know engine modes, we don't know anything. That could have been flat out quali lap, low fuel, engine ramped right up just because they wanted to see what he could do. It might have been just an epic lap. So I think he needs another year in F2. He's made too many mistakes this year, and they risk, however talented they think he is and how much potential they think he's got, they risk burning through another youngster, and they're just going to find themselves right back in his position again in 12 months' time. So give Lindblad another year in F2. I'd keep Yuki in that Red Bull for the first half of next season, leave Hadjar and Lawson where they are, and if you need to swap drivers around when you get to the summer break next year, then do it. But otherwise, I would expect the pool of 4 drivers to stay the same, and that's the order I would do it in. But I know a lot of people will, yeah. Red Raven, hey Red Raven says, see, that's precisely why they are going to do it. Exactly. That they'll do what they can to be awkward. They just will. It's what they're like. So Dex says, what's the F1 word? Oh, don't be mean. I feel like a traitor today. I feel like I've really let the channel down because I've disappeared somewhere else, and it's like I'm looking at it and I can just see it. I've got a thing over there. There's the YouTube plaque behind me as well, and I can hear it like, Sean, don't leave me. It's like, I'm not leaving, I promise. I'm not throwing away 8 years of hard work. Goodness me. Dave says, now Red Bull are without Horner, do you think they might be more traditional with their driver picks or not because Marco is still there? Again, I may have said this before. I'm almost certain I have, but I'll say it again. I think from the minute Lauren McKees came in, his attitude towards that second driver was really, it felt different. So all of a sudden, Yuki, they didn't steer away from Max, not at all, but they were starting to put more focus on that second car. Yuki got upgrades more quickly than perhaps he would have done under the previous regime, and he started to get to grips with the car, and you've got McKees with his sort of more engineer mind getting involved behind the scenes, and that's really helped him, and stuff like that. It does make a difference, and I think McKees had a good relationship with Tsunoda anyway, so that's going to help. So I think he's more likely to keep Tsunoda, is my feel on that. But you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right, Dave. There's one man out there who is more likely to turn around and say, no, I want to put Lindblad in there. And as I understand it, I might be wrong, but as I understand it, Marco's word goes, doesn't it? If he wants a driver in there, then that's what he's going to do. So it's a shame. It is a shame if Tsunoda gets thrown out, but at the same time, I know some of you feel like he's far from covered himself in glory, so maybe that's on him. I just think they're really harsh with their drivers, full stop. But we've had this conversation how many times over the last 8 years? Feels like quite a lot. So yeah, especially if the Red Bull powertrain is shite and both teams are uncompetitive for the foreseeable future, says Nilesh. But that follows from a question which was, how locked down do you think Hadjar is to Red Bull overall? If they don't promote him, is he at risk to run away to a different team during silly season? If Hadjar's been promised a Red Bull seat and he doesn't get it, then I think he'd be perfectly within his rights to disappear elsewhere, wouldn't he? And I wouldn't blame him at all. So, I don't know. That's a tough one to answer. Give me a bit of time to think about it. Maybe that could be the basis for one of those midweek streams. Actually thinking about it. I know we'll do the massive on CPB. I can feel you looking at me already with the evils. It's fine. We'll get there with it. But I think Hadjar would stay right where he is for next season if he had to. Maybe for 2028 that might change, but I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon. Is that a t-shirt to support Verstappen's move to Mert next year, says Dex? I don't know if you ever came to other streams very often, Dex, but what I always get a lot of, why are you wearing a Mercedes shirt if you're a Ferrari fan and a Max Verstappen fan? It is simply because I love their merch. I love this, the Adidas stripe, I'm telling you now. I love the merch, so I'm going to wear this until it fades to nothing. That's disgusting. Not quite that far, just, until it's knackered, basically. But yeah, no, that's why I wear it. That's why I wear it. I just saw Glenn. Hey, Glenn says, new home looks great. Sounds great too. Wonderful to see you here. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you for your support. And hopefully you enjoy the stream. It'll be waffly, but then that's kind of me, isn't it? That's the point. So I'll do my best. Just noticed YouTube is using names in chat again rather than usernames. Make your mind up Google, for goodness sake. The funny thing is, Max, we'll go to the other channel tomorrow for the race watch along. Guarantee you it'll be the handles again. I think the F1 word is monetized and it's got over 100,000 subs. So I think it gets a trial thing. So like the YouTube Studio dashboard I'm using today for this channel is the old one, whereas on the other channel it's a new one, and I prefer the old one. So I'm quite happy over here. So let's keep the names. Let's just stream over here all the time. Sean, you need to add another mod. Are people kicking off already, RC? Is it that bad? Max says, Adidas stripes make any t-shirt for me. Love that Mercedes Adidas deal. Yeah, Kieran, you're Kieran here, Kieran Grist. There you go. Pascal says Marco can't decide by himself anymore who they put in which team. German F1 journalist Ralph, is it back? Confirmed that during the week on a German podcast. If that's the case, then I'm really pleased to hear that, because for all the criticism we give him, and a lot of it is completely justified, he's done a lot of good for young drivers in F1. You look at that grid. I mean, let's skim through it quickly now. Verstappen, Hadjar, Tsunoda, Lawson, Sainz, Gasly. You know, we've got some really solid drivers out there. So he's done a great job. He's also been brutal. But I think it's time now, and maybe losing Christian Horner is the perfect catalyst for this now. It's time for Red Bull to start changing. I think moving forward, it seems a bit ridiculous saying changing, given that they've just won 4 consecutive drivers' titles and they could still win a 5th. But you know what I mean? Sort of behind the scenes now. Marco's going to be retiring at some point. Get Seb Vettel in there. Get Seb in there. Why not? Albon as well. Yes, Jack. Thank you. I knew there was another one. Albon as well, of course. But yeah, I think that's what I wanted to read. I'll leave that on the screen a second. Hang on. Yeah, I think that's what they need now, just to start to shuffle things around behind the scenes, make changes, and maybe Matashit's passing away started that as well. But I think it is time for that to, because it's sort of, the approach has worked for so long. It worked well for so long, and they found Verstappen and they brought Vettel through as well, of course, before that, and finding some really great talent. But they've also burned through a lot of drivers very quickly. So I did a video the other few weeks back, didn't I, about it, and I don't want to repeat all that again, but it's not been perfect for a while, so maybe they do need to shuffle it. I just want to read this. The race weekend race director notes have changed, and they've said in order to ensure that cars are not driven unnecessarily slowly on any laps during and after the end of qualifying or during reconnaissance laps, when the pit exit is open for the race, this is the race tomorrow, of course, drivers must stay below 136 between the safety car lines shown on the pit lane drawing. That's not the one I wanted to read. So why have I got that one up? Ignore me. Just, do you know what? Forget the last 10 seconds. I get one of those things. I pulled the wrong thing up, and then I read the Sky thing instead of the document I wanted to. They want to make some tweets to what's happening, basically. That's what I wanted to get into, but we'll do that probably tomorrow over on the other channel, because I want to talk about the whole what I call pissing about in the pit lane, because it sounds cool, and how ridiculous it is, and people missing laps, and some of the ideas that might be floated for that one. So exactly, Dave, what 10 seconds? There you go. Just ignore me. Yes, Lindblad is he uses a British racing license, RC, so he is classed as British, but he's British Swedish, British Swede. Max was subscriber number 1. If you are just tuning in, by the way, please hit that sub button. Let's your name should appear on screen if everything's working as intended. If it isn't, then I apologise, but it should be. A pit lane piss about. Yeah. There you go. But I don't know Lindblad's full heritage, but I know he's down as British Swede, isn't he? So British Swedish. So I've heard the same in German media, and I'm not convinced though. And I agree he bought a lot in, but how much money did Marco lose the Red Bull team by effectively finding great drivers for other teams? It's a fair point. I mean, yeah. Let's have a think. Albon. See, Albon didn't do Albon wasn't amazing at Red Bull when he replaced Gasly, but he wasn't bad, was he? But they've given up on him. He's gone. Gasly gone. Yeah, Carlos Sainz and co. It looks like it's all getting ready for qualifying, which is good to see. But yeah, no, yeah, it's they've got through a lot. And people have got there before me. Nick says, who was the last Swedish driver in F1? It was Marcus Ericsson, of course, wasn't it? King Marcus of Ericsson, as we used to call him back in day, all those weeks ago. Yeah, Buemi, Vern, Ricardo, some other great shouts there from Neelish. Some good drivers in there. So, yeah. Did you hear Hamilton's interview talking about his relationship with Vettel? God, I do miss Seb so much. That's come from Max. I'll add you as a moderator, Max. So you're a mod over on the other one, so that's fine. I didn't, but I will do tomorrow. Because obviously the race isn't until 8 o'clock, so I'll go back and have a look at what's going on there. So yeah, I will do that. I will do that. But yeah, no, Seb's... See, I love Seb. I've got a signed photo down there from him and a picture of him signing the photo. So double whammy there. Double whammy for me. Lots of love for Seb in this household. Big fan of Sebastian Vettel. Always have been and always will be. So yeah, underrated, I think, a little bit. But that's a conversation for another day. I can check. Do you know, you've got me. My mind's all over the place now because you've got me thinking about the Arvid Lindblad. So he was born in London on the 8th of August 2007, which, when you're nearly 40, was basically yesterday. Yeah. Born in Virginia Water in Surrey, specifically. His nationality is a British-Swedish. Arvid Lindblad was born on the 8th of August, blah, blah, blah. His father, Stefan Lindblad, is Swedish, while his mother, Anita Lindblad, is of Indian heritage. He has a younger brother named Emil. Lindblad was raised in Virginia Water and educated at the Royal Grammar School in Guildford. Lindblad was first involved in motorsport when he was given a motocross bike aged 3. There we go. That's cleared that one up. I am not going to sit and read his entire Wikipedia page, but that is officially where he's at. By the way, there is a poll I meant to mention at the start in chat. Please do get your votes in. Which team do you think will take pole? Because I have to pick 4. So I've gone with Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari and Mercedes, or a shock poll is what I've gone with on there. 31% of you think McLaren, 48% say Red Bull, and 15% are saying Ferrari, with 6 thinking we'll get Mercedes or a shock. So yes, please do vote on that one. Thanks for your votes so far. I think McLaren look good, certainly on race pace, as we head towards qualifying, about 11 minutes away now. So they look good. They look very, very good. Yeah. RC's going to class him as Indian. A little bit of bias there, I think, RC, but I'll let you off with that. That's fine. When you're half small country, half big country, you always race under the big country, more money. Fair point. We'll definitely do some predictions shortly. Don't worry, Navy Doc. Hey to you in chat. We'll do some predictions shortly. Hey to Yori as well. Says Yuki will take pole. Calling it now. Love a Yuki pole. We'd all go mad for that, wouldn't we? A couple of you might not, actually, thinking about it, but yeah, you know, you might do. You might love it. You might hate it. I don't know. Yeah, lots of Ericsson hitters there. Absolutely, that was. That's one of those great misquotes, isn't it? Or a quote that was misattributed. A lot of people think that sort of go back and remember that Grosjean said it, but actually it was Engineer, wasn't it, who said, I think he hit us. So, yeah, that was quite fun. I think, to be fair, if I was Romain Grosjean's Engineer, or even Romain Grosjean, I think I'd be like, oh, yeah, so just wipe me out, because that was quite embarrassing at the time. But there we go. Great to see Romain back in an F1 car actually a few weeks back, wasn't it? So, very good stuff. Should we do some predictions? 10 minutes ago from quali. What we'll do is we'll do some predictions now, then we'll do them right before Q3 again. So, get me your top 3 on the grid in chat. I was thinking today about how I could sort of vary these streams a bit so it doesn't just feel like a complete rip-off of what I was doing over on the other channel, but this is just me, so it's kind of impossible that I can't think of any other way of doing this other than just talking crap for 30 minutes before qualifying, throughout qualifying, and then afterwards. So there you go. To be fair, apparently YouTube just notified me you're live, says Gingerfest. Don't you love YouTube reliability? And it's not a small channel thing. It does it on the other one as well. So what I will say is, oh, God, I know it's part of the job, but I hate doing this. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. Your support will be greatly appreciated. I want to get this to the obvious 1,000 mark as quickly as we can, so this can sort of become my full-time job properly again, if you want to call it a job. And drop a like on the stream as well, greatly appreciated. You can support me over on buymeacoffee.com/Formula Sean F1 if you'd like to, but no pressure at all. You don't have to. Just any support is greatly appreciated, because you can't do super chats over here at the moment, so that'll be a great support. And make sure you hit that notification bell, smash a like on the video, hit that notification bell, and all that stuff that, again, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I am dreadful at it. I never used to plug the Patreon. I never scream for subs and likes outside of streams. I'm just kind of like, hi, thanks for stumbling upon me, help me, and that's about it. Let's do your predictions then, and I'll do mine, and well, mine, of course, is Max Verstappen poll. I said that on Thursday, so I'll do a top three for you as well. Who got the first one in? Navy Doc says Lando, Kimi, and Lewis. That's a good, I tell you what, that's a good top three. That could, I mean, I don't know, actually. Maybe if Lando was sort of third on that list, could be a good top three, because if Lando's P1 with Kimi and Lewis behind him, he's probably going to disappear, isn't he? But that could be fun. Yori already said Yuki for pole. RC says Max, Charles, and Lando. Dex has gone with Verstappen, Norris, and Russell. Fudd has gone with, hey Fudd, didn't see you in chat there, but hope you're all right, mate. Says Norris, Hamilton, and Verstappen. Nick's gone with Norris, Verstappen, and Piastri. Max says some hopium here, Hamilton, Leclerc, Verstappen. I think that's more than hopium, mate. What's in your coffee? Navy Doc says, I guess it's a bold prediction. It says Stroll, Gasly, and Ocon. Good Lord. That's a race tomorrow, isn't it? Dave says Verstappen, Norris, and Piastri. Jack's gone with Bearman, Stroll, and Colapinto. Jack is drunk. Red Raver says Norris, Verstappen, and Piastri. Pascal's gone with Hamilton, Norris, and Verstappen, and then one Sauber in Q3. Possible. Bortoletto was top 10, wasn't he, this morning? So it's possible, definitely possible. Can we just all agree that Sainz has the most fire helmet this week? I've not seen it, Navy Doc. I've not seen it. I'll have a look and see what I can find. No, I have seen it. No, I know which one you mean now. Yes, no, it was on XPB. Yes, absolutely. It is a cracking helmet. Alfie says, Mrs. Alf, both McLarens 1 and 2 with that annoying Verstappen third. That's a quote. CVV says annoying Verstappen. Prediction, Yuki has a moment on track. He is compromised. Women and children are crying. Things look bleak, and then the Mexican superhero returns, takes his place, and goes pole. I didn't know you wrote fan fiction, mate. That's incredible. Piastri not getting much support, says Dex. To be honest, Dex, it's a little bit surprising, but also he's not been on the pace this weekend again, has he? So, but counter that with how many times this season in particular has he been kind of nowhere in practice and then bang, pole position in quali. So he can do it. I wouldn't write him off completely, but yeah. Alfie is going for Max, Norris, and Russell. MSC Biles says Hamilton, Bottas, and Verstappen. Is it Biles or Beals? I think I've probably asked you that 300 times over the last 8 years, mate, and I still don't get it right. So I might have to call you John or something. I don't know. Or maybe Hamilton, Bortoletto, Verstappen for a bit of fun there. There you go. Yeah. 5 yellows over all of quali. Why not? And Kieran says Liverpool still losing. God, Salah looks shit. I don't know what's going on at Liverpool, but I've got to be honest, kind of enjoying it, not gonna lie. Here we go, the music's kicking in, so thank you. I'll do quickly, very quickly. Norris, Verstappen, and Hadjar for XYZ91. Thank you very much for your predictions there. Right, here we go then. Let's get it all ready. Obviously, for obvious copyright reasons, that's two obviouslies, no on-track footage. FOM would absolutely destroy us if we did, and I certainly haven't got the £1 billion to buy the rights over here, so we'll have to make do with live time, but that is provided by the awesome folks over at F1 Multiviewer, or Multiviewer for F1, who have very kindly agreed to allow me to use the overlays on this stream, or these streams, and over on the F1 Word as well. So thank you so much to those guys. Really appreciate you allowing me to do that, because I think these some of the best F1 graphics out there, I think, to be honest. So I'm really pleased we can keep using them. So thank you to them. Link in the description if you want to customize your own viewing experience with as much or as little data as you like. It is a free app to download, but you will need some sort of F1 TV subscription, either F1 TV Access or F1 TV Pro, and I think F1 TV Access is still £2.49 in the UK. And if you love your classic F1 races and you can afford it, £2.49 is an absolute steal, I think, unless you've, like Jonty, you've got a hard drive full of them, so in which case it's a waste of money. But there you go. Yeah, multi-viewer, can't recommend them highly enough. But we are ready to get going here. And Sean's been working on some very exciting graphics, which I can't wait to share with you. I'll let you know. I'll let you know how good it is. Yeah, and also, by the way, over here on Formula Sean, if you want to talk about football, you want to talk about rugby or cricket, I mean, I don't know much about those two, feel free in chat. We're not going to be banning people like some people did once upon a time over on the other place for talking about other sports. We all have different interests, and we're happy to share them as a community. So, did you drop Jonty in the shit, Sean? I probably did, actually. Yeah. FOM are kicking his door down now. Give me that hard drive. Yeah. He's got a lot of races as Jonty saved. I know that for sure. Bob says, best of luck, Sean, with the new channel. Watching since 2018. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate your continued support. It's, yeah, looking forward to this. Very excited for this. I don't know why I'm so excited. I think it's always nice with a fresh start, isn't it? So I am excited for that. Hey to Richard as well. Says, good to see you, Sean. Good to see you too, mate. Hope you're well and having a good Saturday and are ready for a good bit of quali. We're a couple of minutes away yet, but yeah, looking forward to this. But yeah, thank you very much for your support. So, Salah just scored. That's so typical. Salah looks dreadful. Go, Salah. Anything but Red Bull or McLaren on pole. Let's make it interesting for a second. Says 7-string bassist. Yes. Yes. Oh, God, Sam's here. Right, everyone behave. Sam's here. He'll report back if we don't behave. Sam says, hey mate, hope you're all right. Hope everything's going well for you. Sam, of course, used to do the shorts over on the F1 word, but not anymore. So, and I miss him. I miss him low. He says, wrong hard drive. They are kicking the door down for. There you go. Thank you very much, mate. Glad you're okay. Good to see you over here. And yeah, I will play that intro suggestion you sent me on a stream at some point, and it's possibly the best Mickey Mouse impression I've ever heard in my life. There you go. Oh, is it Liverpool added time? Yeah. Actually, RC, just want to wait for the F1 start. Where did they pull the 7 minutes from in the United game earlier? Because I did not count 7 minutes, and I make a bloody point of it these days. But yeah, anyway, whoever gets pole today will be third into turn one tomorrow. That's a very good shout. Actually, do you know what, Fud? It was on my list of things in my head. I need to write these down for what I wanted to bring up today. Pole position isn't necessarily the big win today. As Max Verstappen could tell you when he went round the outside of Bottas and Hamilton in Mexico a few years back, right round the outside at turn one, didn't he? So, yes. Pole position, there's such a long run to turn one, even third on the grid isn't the end of the world. So, you maybe don't want to be pole today, but I can't imagine anyone's going to try not to get pole position. We are here to race after all. So, yeah, qualifying. We've got an hour of qualifying, of course. We've broken into 3 sessions, 18, 15, and 12 minutes. So, here we go. I'm ready. Are you ready? We've done our predictions. The stream is ready to go. Multi-viewer seems to be working. We are green. Check out the flag. Look at that. That took me way too long to do, I must admit. But we are green for FP1. I won't leave for Q1. Sorry, I won't leave that up all the time because it gets a bit annoying. But look at that. Look at that. Incredible. Incredible. Both of the Aston Martins straight out on track with the used softs on, of course. Gazzy and Colapinto on new softs behind them. Don't forget, or if you did catch it, you'll know. But if you didn't, then just to let you know. The Aston Martins and a lot of others actually have been scrubbing tyres in this weekend, particularly the softs. So, yeah, that's get them used up, get a heat cycle through them, get that shiny surface off, scrub them in, and then go for it. That's kind of the plan, isn't it? So, I wonder if I don't know if anyone has subscribed, but I wonder if because I haven't logged into stream thingy, that's why it's not working. I'll turn the flag off after a minute, don't worry. We won't leave it up constantly. It's just there to let you know it's started. And there are some other ones as well. But yes, let's get that. Is that the right one or am I on the wrong one? No, that is the right one. Talking to myself. It's all good. We're in control. We're in control. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, thank you to Etapau. There we go for subscribing. Your name should be popping up on screen. I'll run a quick test to make sure we are working. But... yeah, hopefully that is working. If not, I apologise. And if you have just subscribed recently, let me know, and I'll give you. I mean, I suppose technically you all have, because you know, channel only launched a week ago, so I suppose you all just have. So shout out to everyone. There we go. I'll talk you through some laps. No, you can't unsubscribe and subscribe again. That's a disgrace. 30 seconds delay on the dot, says Dave. Is that the stream that's delayed? Are they? Oh, yeah. The stream. I think I might be just. So YouTube's about 10 seconds behind, isn't it? What I'm saying now, you're hearing 10 seconds. But the clock on the TV and the clock on the timing is the same. So I'm synced up. So hopefully that should make it easy for you. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you for subscribing. Hopefully this will be a lot of fun. Yeah, Pixar animation decks. That's how good that green flag was. I was so impressed with it. You wait. I didn't download those from a website at all. Spent hours on it, I promise. World Series Game 2 in a few hours, says 7-stream basis. World Series is which... what's the world? I'm trying. What? There's a lot of World Series. I'm trying to think what the World Series is that you're going to be watching. Oh, so ahead. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the Now TV stream's quite a bit behind, isn't it? It's the Sky. Someone's explained this to me before. Why Sky Go and Now TV are so far behind the live footage? Baseball, of course, it's baseball. Love baseball. Probably one of the few Brits that does. Stroll over the line is a 1:18.815. By the way, first lap time on the board. So good stuff. There, cricket but for Americans. I do like baseball. It's not something I watch as intently as Formula One, but it's something that sometimes I quite like putting on in the background. And I think anyone who's ever been to a baseball game or watched baseball start to finish will understand why it's on in the background and not necessarily stared at like Formula One is. Over the line goes Franco Colapinto. Second place at 18.3. Alonso up to the top of the timesheets on a 17.9. Ocon now second on an 18 flat. Bearman will be next across the line on a 1:17.7. I always forget how quickly that start-finish line comes up out of that final corner. It's quite late. Just fancy rounders, exactly, Eru. So good to have a clock on the screen. F1 Pro is 60 seconds behind in Holland. There we go. Yeah, that's one of the great things about the multi-viewer thing. It's got pretty much everything you need there for a live stream, so they do a cracking job. Rounders with steroids. I like that. Americans hardly watch baseball these days. Premiership is possibly more popular now. Really? Baseball's their national game, isn't it? Or has that changed in more recent years? The national game in the US. That's always how I've known it, as their national game, so. NBA's back, so I'm happy. It's on Prime, so I can watch it over there, which is pretty cool. Norris then, purple in the first sector, as you might expect, of course, in that McLaren. Piastri, what did he do? So he's done a 27.6. He's 0.4 slower than Norris again in that first sector, so again, still relatively early in the weekend. We've still got 2 more quali sessions and a race to do, but Norris at the moment just about seems to have the upper hand. 0.6 up on Bearman at the moment, so it was the national pastime, says Killjoy. There you go. National pastime probably makes more sense, yeah. Dave, what did you say? A lot of American sports are good day fillers. Yeah. I never really got into cricket, which is, again, I've said this before, but it's kind of disgraceful because my granddad used to play for Yorkshire, but I never really got into cricket. So, lap time deleted for Bortoletto, 18.9. Norris is 17.1. There you go, Piastri again, 0.7 off with his first run out there. It is only first runs, but that's a big gap, isn't it? Leclerc went deep in the stadium section there, which is turn 13, isn't it? The little almost hairpin. Is it a hairpin? It sort of is, isn't it? So only goes second, but a 10th off Lando Norris. So closer than Piastri was. That's for sure. I mean, intrigued by the Red Bulls here as Hadjar goes third in the Racing Bulls. I mean, yeah, cracking effort from him. Liam Lawson round the final corner now. 3/10 back, but goes ahead of Hadjar, which is interesting. So Lawson do we still feel, chat, like Lawson's fighting for that seat, or do we think Racing Bulls are probably going to keep him whatever happens now for next season? Because surely they can't really be looking to replace. We watched Lewis Hamilton on the curb at turn 12. We can't really be looking at Red Bull trying to replace Tsunoda and Lawson, surely. So, yeah. Was that Piastri on they were just saying on Sky has got a DRS issue? Is that what's going on with Piastri? Can I get I can't get the team radio up unless it's not. Is it going to work today? I didn't get it the other day. It wouldn't work for me. So no, it's not working again. That's annoying. No. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, well. Yeah, so if it was Piastri with DRS issues, then that would be why. That would explain the 7/10 of a second, that's for sure. But they must have been talking about him. I can't think of anybody else who's got... So maybe Hamilton settled. He went wide at turn 12. Verstappen, obviously personal best. This is his first flying lap here. This little section, those... Whoa, big snap there. That got me a bit nervy there. More so for Verstappen through turn 10. On his way to turn 12 now. DRS wide open. Red Raven says, and Helmut Marko, surely and Helmut Marko exclude each other, Sean. I'm sorry to keep hammering that point, but he is a random number generator. I like that idea, weirdly. He's just a guy who picks up, wakes up one morning. In fact, do you know what? You're probably right. Wakes up one morning, Lawson's my guy. The next day, it's Hadjar. The following day, it's somebody else. Hey, John T. Is that John T's Corner? Thank you for finding the new channel, mate. Appreciate you joining. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. I know you have. But thank you very much, mate. I hope you're okay. I was talking to them earlier about doing a midweek stream and talking shit, and I was like, well, that's kind of perfect for us, isn't it? So we'll get one sorted, definitely get one sorted soon. And face cams as well now, so we can pull faces at each other, which is even better. You can see what they're really thinking, the guests on stream. If we bring back the race reactions and midweek streams, you'll be able to see what they're really thinking about what I'm saying. Because I imagine they're all pulling faces, really, and, you know, flipping the bird at the at the stream. What's this guy talking about? Seriously. Yeah, that was the moment of turn, I think it was turn 10 that Verstappen had a little snap at, which was a little bit squeaky bum time, but held that nicely. Lost about a tenth of a second, according to AWS, so who knows? Liverpool lose again. Oh dear. My camera's not much better, to be fair, John T. It was your camera was fine during the testing streams, mate. But I don't care about any of that over here. We'll be rough around the edges. We always have been, mate. The pair of us. It's what people seem to like. So. John T's not streaming with me now because I ruined Sebastian Vettel crashing at Hockenheim in 2018 for him. So he doesn't like doing watch-alongs with me because I ruined it for him when we're live. I'll never forget that. I was like, oh, thanks for that, mate. Sorry. Bearman's just gone fastest on a 1:17.1 and is ever so slightly quicker than Lando Norris, half a tenth. So the track ramping up. Track evolution quite high here. It's been dusty all weekend. So I'll keep an eye on what's going on here. But obviously in these first exchanges, it's not the most important part as Norris improves to 1:16.8. It's the next lot of laps after this lot that are going to really matter. So... but Piastri, round the final corner, is improving. Does go third, so a better lap, but still a couple of tenths, 2.5 tenths off his teammate. Hamilton improves as well to go fifth, so track should ramp up quite nicely. Arsenal play tomorrow, I think, Dex. I believe. Can't know for sure, of course. John says, I will be joining him, rest assured, just not right now. There we go. It's... Yeah, kind of ruined the Seb Vettel thing for you. I realised very quickly that unless everyone's synced up, you kind of ruin people's races when you do watch along. So, but yeah, great lap from Bearman. Only 2 tenths off Norris's time in that Haas is really good stuff. Leclerc now actually only a 10th back. So, yeah. Hulkenberg with a shocker, says Neelish. Where is he? So 18th, 1:17.671. Yeah, not Not great from Nico, is it, down there in that Sauber? Not at all. Jack's put a radio emoji there for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'm sure he'll explain. It's fine. Where is Tsunoda then? So Tsunoda's down in 16th. So, a dab emoji. There you go. Oh, DAB. Do you know what, Jack? That's very imaginative, mate. I'm impressed with that. Really impressed with that. Still waiting for projected knockout time. Bernie hasn't got one on the... It is an amazing substitute emoji. Bernie hasn't got one on Sky either, so we'll hopefully get one through. But they're all coming in now. I think everyone's in. Has Albon just gone out? Maybe he is on a hot lap now, yeah. So they're all coming in again. They'll pop a bit of fuel in, pop a fresh set of tyres on or a scrub set of tyres on, and off they go again. But it's pretty close out there. I mean, it's less than a second between the top 20, which is the entire grid. I don't know why I say top 20. It is the entire grid. So, I mean, looking at the gaps between some of the drivers, just an example. I mean, Bearman's only 800ths behind Leclerc. Piastri, half a tenth further back. Russell, 300ths back. Hamilton, 600ths back. 400ths back. 500ths back. 300ths back. And if you go down even further, you're going to Colapinto 1,000th off Tsunoda with a time that's only 1,000th quicker than Hulkenberg. So, if anyone could find a couple of tenths here, we could get some surprises. It's insanely close out there, and we could, as Nick is saying now, you know, who will be a shock Q on exit, we could actually get one. So yeah, exactly. Addy boy says, damn, everyone within a second. That's absolutely quite a surprise. I mean, I know it's been close this weekend, but bit of a shock in some ways that it's as close as it is actually. Hadjar is improving, just over a tenth down on Norris though. 4.5 minutes to go now, so ready to go. You're getting ready for next year. Exactly, Dave. I'm preparing for 22 cars next year. 22 cars on the grid. That's going to be... Well, that's going to make these traffic problems even worse, isn't it, thinking about it? Alex Albon, what did he do? Yeah, 13th at the moment. He's going to have to go again. Hadjar purple in the middle sector, by the way. And by a tenth of a second, actually, over the time by Norris. So the track is improving, but it is so close out there. This circuit's always been a great leveler. And Hadjar goes fastest by a tenth and a half with 3 minutes and 45 to go in Q1. Purple final sector as well. Lawson is improving. I think this could be like a fruit machine, as Martin Brundle would say. This could be interesting. Hopefully smaller cars might help. Yeah, might. A lot of people at risk here. I mean, Tsunoda's out at the moment as it stands. Antonelli's on the bubble. Albon's not far up the road. I mean, what's Verstappen off? I mean, Verstappen's not that far off 16th, is he? So, yeah, exactly. A yellow will absolutely throw chaos here into the mix. And that's not... I mean, Verstappen's green in the first sector, so an improvement. But I've spotted it in FP3, actually. He seems to be... okay in the first sector, but he seems to get his time on the middle sector. That was in FP3 though. That might not be the case in quali. We'll find again twitching through 10. There's a lot of traffic out there. Verstappen's got a clear run apart from Lando Norris, who's not really going to get in the way. But Verstappen, I mean, he's improving, but he's a tenth and a half down on Isack Hadjar at the moment. So is this going to be... Has he got time for a cool lapper to go again? I mean, he doesn't need to be P1, does he? He just needs to get through. But that's a surprise. That is a big surprise. Yeah, that's the second time Jonty's had a big twitch there. And actually, Verstappen does go fifth. But yes, he had a big moment at turn 10 on his other lap, didn't he? So, not happy at the back of that car. Here goes Tsunoda up to 9th place. Not bad, but I mean, again, nothing. Back to being knocked out. Currently, Antonelli, Gasly, Colapinto, Hulkenberg and Stroll in the drop zone. So, Albon has pitted. Or is Albon going to get... No, Albon's not going to get round in time, is he? He's on pit exit, Albon. He's got 1 minute and 50 to get round. It might be okay, but it depends how much everyone backs up later in the lap, doesn't it? trying to work out who's what. So we've got Tsunoda, won't get another lap in, I wouldn't imagine, from there. I mean, he can technically, but can he get his batteries charged up enough? I think you might be right. I think you're right. Albon might be in trouble here. Even if he does get his foot down and get to the line, is he going to get the perfect preparation lap? So many cars out there. I mean, quite literally 20 of them. Antonelli not improving the middle sector, nearly 3/10 down on the fastest time by Hadjar. So he's in a spot of bother here, is Kimi. This will be the lap that has to do it for him. Stroll improves to P17 with his lap. Not great. Here goes Antonelli round the final corner. Goes 11th. Ooh, that's nervy, isn't it? What's everyone else doing? Dave. I'll read that in a bit. Sainz goes 8th fastest in the Williams. We've got 40 seconds to go before the end of this session. Gasly's out. That's confirmed. He's P17. Here goes Bortoletto. Needs this. He's improving, and improves, but only to P14. Hulkenberg is improving as well. Not really. 17.2 is a projected knockout. So Hamilton's potentially in trouble. Hulkenberg goes 11th. Cracking lap from Nico Hulkenberg. Great stuff. And Ocon goes 3rd. For Haas on a 16.9, 2/10 off the fastest time by Hadjar. Cracking lap from him as well. Cracking is my word. Bearman goes 6th, ahead of Max Verstappen. Hamilton improving as well. Drops to 13th, but is 10th and a half up. That's a checkered flag for Q1. Russell goes 2nd fastest. Albon's doing a good lap actually here. 2/10 up on a time to get through. Hamilton improves to P2, 3,000ths off Isack Hadjar, who looks at the moment as though he's going to top Q1. Albon really needs this, and he's on a very good lap here. He's got a lot of traffic, though. He needs to just ignore that and hope they get out of the way. Alonso goes 12th and knocks out Bortoletto. Antonelli on a bubble. Tsunoda should be okay there. Nobody else improving enough apart from Alex Albon, who's a 10th down now on Antonelli. So he's lost that time in the middle sector to have those tyres given up already. Colapinto's lost his lap time, but he is 20th anyway. Not going to destroy his day. Around the final corner comes Alex Albon. Can he do it? Can he sneak through? No. P17. So we've lost Gabriel Bortoletto, Alex Albon, Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll, and Franco Colapinto. Isack Hadjar topping Q1. A long way to go, but could he be the shock? That was a bit chaotic at the end there, wasn't it? Yeah, Colapinto. So he took way too much curb on the inside of what is turn 3, isn't it? And then, or is it turn 4? So that's 1, 2, then 3, yeah, and then straight off the road. Oh, I got air as well. Yeah, hit the sausage curb. Jonty here. Jonty, want to talk about sausage curbs? I don't want to get into the conversation about frictionless wipes. That sounds terrifying. Is Formula Sean sponsored by Daddy Stroll or just the F1 word? It's sponsored by me and my effort, mate. There's no sponsors here. Just me being me. Albon was the only mini shock there. Stroll definitely not a shock anymore, says Nick. Yeah, I mean, Sainz is 11th, Nick, isn't he? So, yeah, you'd expect Albon to be up there with him. It's interesting how that's shifted, hasn't it, between the two teammates this season. I've not checked the numbers. I don't know how close it is. Again, Sky have got the old aspect ratio on their adverts for some reason. Maybe they're trying to hide the adverts from me. They don't want me to see them. Waiting for Renault to pull out the plug of Alpine, says Dex. I mean, they've pulled the engine, haven't they? So, I mean, they're a long way off, but I do wonder if that is that everything's on next year now. And if Alpine are dreadful next year, Renault might pull the plug. They might. Piastri, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Sainz, Bortoletto noted for failing to follow the race director's instructions. Maximum delta time will be investigated after the session. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. I get the feeling Q2 is going to be an awesome session, says John T. Yeah. I mean, that was fun. So I imagine Q2 is going to be even better. I'll do my usual bit in between. Please, well, I'm gonna say, I don't tend to say this. Please do share the stream if you haven't already. 60 of you here, which I'll be honest is about 59 more than I thought was going to be here. Not to judge you all or think that you wouldn't have supported me, but I was really anxious it was going to be me talking to myself. But I really appreciate everybody that's here, so thank you very much. Please do sub if you're new as well, and drop a like on the stream. Massively appreciated. Kieran says, like I said, at least PGMOL can make a decision. FIA, ban yourself from making decisions after the race. Just make a decision. Don't let the teams appeal. I would rather have the FIA walk slowly to the right decision than have the PGMOL run to the wrong decision. Does that make sense? But I do agree with, there are certain things, so sort of a 51-49 collision between drivers, that needs to be investigated after the race. Something that is so obviously a penalty and then having to wait till after the race, or particularly in qualifying after the session, is ridiculous. You know, things like impeding should be pretty straightforward to be able to see with your eyes. If obvious impeding, something that's obvious doesn't need to be investigated after the session. It needs to be investigated then and there and dealt with. But yeah. Jack says Pierre seems so checked out, and CPB says I fear for Pierre's future. Yeah. I think he'll be fine. I think he's frustrated. I think Colapinto's frustrated. I think I can imagine Alpine have just had enough with life at the moment. It's not been good, has it? So hopefully he can... I mean, he's 18th. He's out-qualified his teammate and Lance Stroll. Is that a compliment? I don't know. But, you know, he's not last. But, yeah, exactly, Nick. Alpine have checked out, I think. Yeah. I mean, look, if Alpine want to sell up, by the way, I mean, there's a guy, Christian something, who used to be the boss at Red Bull, who's got a few bob. He might want to take on some sort of role there, maybe. Don't know, maybe. Just an idea. I think if Christian Horner's going to end up anywhere, it's there or a new team. Or Aston, actually, as he was rumoured to at one point, wasn't he? But, yeah. What the hell did he sign till? Why the hell did he sign 2028? Is a question about Pierre Gasly there. Sorry, I was reading two things at once, so I couldn't work out what I was going to do there. But yeah, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I lack of options, maybe. Maybe that Mercedes power unit. I mean, Johnson's made the point in chat that they've got the Merc power next year, so their chassis might be all right this year, and if they had a better power unit, they'd be doing better. But next year, if they've put everything into that chassis and they're going to have the Mercedes power unit, then they're laughing, aren't they? I'm not expecting championships, but they could be a dark horse for a really strong season. I'm not talking about an Alpine title, but they might be dark horses for a very strong season next year. And then all of a sudden we'll look at the a bit like we did. Well, not so much with Haas, didn't really work with Haas, did it? But we'll look at this period and sort of go, oh, it was rough. We are green for Q2. It was rough for Alpine in 2025, but it was worth sacrificing that for how good they were in 26. So maybe. Alpine can rake in the Apple TV money. They don't care if they're good, says Nick. Fair enough. Alpine to become Spiker. I'd like that one, Dex. That'd be quite fun. Imagine a Horner-Cyril Beatbull partnership. Cyril was underrated a little bit as a boss. I know he was a bit at times, but actually he was all right. And if you look at how Renault have gone since, or the team that used to be Renault is now Alpine, actually probably the best since Flav, really, I suppose. But that Alpine car looks nervy as F. I'm not quite sure it's the engine alone. That reminded me of the McLaren Honda thing. Oh, the McLaren Honda years. Any excuse to talk about stuff. Dreadful. Maybe Neelish. Cyril's current team might buy Alpine out. Yeah, we're in this. Nick says the budget cap era is a dream for teams with no ambition, but I think all the teams have ambition. But you do look at Haas are a great example of this as well. When you look at the seasons as they wrote off for the rule change for 2022, and then they were kind of like, they wrote a season and a half, 2 seasons off, and then they came into these new regs in 22 and they were just meh. You think that's where I question ambition. Writing off a season and a half, 2 seasons, and then just being meh isn't really good enough, is it? So I always love waffling about Stoffel. Bit of a waffle about Stoffel. Poor Stoff. Doesn't get the love he deserves, that guy. Anyway, as I say, we are go. We've already had the green flag for the start of the session, so we are ready for hopefully what Jonty's predicted has been a very, very good Q2. It's so close out there. So close. I didn't check the times last time out, but I think, a few hundredths between people down in the bottom 5 and what will be the bottom 6 next year, of course, in qualifying. But the bottom 5 and a decent slot a bit further up, so it's close. Neely says the Renault engine isn't that bad, 60 horsepower down maximum. So maybe it isn't all the engine. It's just not they're just not a good team in a good place. They've been through a lot of ups and downs and turbulence now, haven't they? So, yeah. How many teams are running Merc engines next year, says Yuri. Alpine has to outperform half of them to even start to look good. We've got obviously Mercedes, Williams, McLaren. I mean, Aston won't be anymore, will they? So it'll be 4 with Alpine. Yeah, 4 teams with Alpine. Have I missed one? No. Mercedes, McLaren, Williams, Alpine are replacing Aston, aren't they? Yeah, so 4. That's true, yeah. Duncan says 60 horsepower down sounds like an awful lot. Is in F1, isn't it? But I sort of agree with what Jonty's saying, but I also think the engine is not great, but I don't think the chassis is particularly good either. The car doesn't look amazing, does it? I mean, I'm not expecting them to be on rails. Who are Aston running? They've got Honda next year, Kieran. They are Works Honda deal, so that'd be good for them. Although only 2 cars to run the engine could be a bit of a pain. 1 team running it. It's always nice to have a second team to run the engine as well, isn't it? Hadjar fastest 117.1, by the way. That was on a fresh set of tyres. How much is that there on a used set? But that could be... have we got the thing here? Yeah, Hamilton's tyres are 4 laps old, including what he's doing at the moment. So there's probably more time out there, but he's quicker than Hadjar. Verstappen's purple in the first sector on a fresh set of soft tyres. So, hey Lee, hope you well, mate. How are you doing? Enjoying your Saturday, I imagine, and a bit of good quality. It's been good so far, as Hulkenberg goes fastest on a 17 flat. Cadillac are running Ferrari power next year, Jack. Cadillac, who are definitely not Andretti, says Neelish. Definitely not. Round the final corner comes Verstappen. That car, again, still a bit nervy at the rear, but over the line he goes fastest with a 16.824. So Leclerc's purple in the middle sector. But let's see how long he stays at the top, Verstappen, because Leclerc is quick in the middle sector. Over the line he goes fastest actually by a 10th there. So good lap. Norris, let's see what he does. Oof, blistering in the first sector, 1.5 tenths up on Leclerc already through that first sector, over 1.5 tenths up. So Lando absolutely flying. Apparently Norris got a fantastic toe behind Hamilton down the straight, so that would have helped him massively there. That car was wandering in the middle of the track a bit there, wasn't it? I wonder if it was going to come across on Lando, but that might have helped Lando a little bit in the first sector, but it's a cracking first sector time for him. And again, in the middle sector, nearly 2 tenths up, 0.185. What's Piastri doing? Sainz goes second, a 10th off Leclerc. This is a good lap here for Norris. Good lap for Norris. Final corner. Is that still called the Peraltada? He goes over the line 4 tenths quicker than Leclerc, so there you go. I will turn off, by the way, the poll, or end the poll right before Q3, so you still get your votes in if you're not sure who you want to vote for. But yes. Piastri only a 1:17.2, but he is on a used set that have done 4 laps in total. So not overly used, but used enough. Same with Lewis Hamilton, of course, on those used tyres. So bear that in mind. There is still time there. Yeah. I appreciate there's a... I don't know why. I may be missing something. But I kind of enjoy the irony of you talking about top dead centre. Yeah. On this stream. I don't know why. If that's who I'm thinking it is, I might be wrong. I might be thinking the wrong people, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Anyway. Just refresh that one. Make sure I've not missed anybody contributing. So Norris, 7.5 minutes to go. Fastest 1:16.2. Leclerc, Sainz, Verstappen. Hulkenberg will be 5th place, by the way. 17.0. 3,000ths quicker than Tsunoda. Hamilton was on a used set. He's 7th. Hadjar 8th. Russell used. Piastri used. Bearman used. Ocon used. Alonso used. They are 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. Alonso's... Oh no, Alonso's done 7 laps, to be fair, so they are well used for Fernando, so lots of time for him. Antonelli 1:18, 1 down in 14th, and Lawson 15th. They were on new tyres, so let's see what everyone does when they get some fresh tyres on. Yes. Yeah, thank you, Jack. Yes. In turn 5, it felt like something happened, weird happened with the PU, says Oscar Piastri. So, yeah, yes, that's, yeah. That is who I thought it was then, Jack. So, yeah. It doesn't matter if it's called Peraltada anymore because it's absolutely not the Peraltada, says John C. That was a proper corner, wasn't it? We've lost a great corner, but I do really like that little infield stadium section. It's not maybe great for overtaking because it's quite tight and twisty, but it's quite a spectacle, isn't it? So, yeah, Antonelli struggling. He only just scraped through, to be fair, RC. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on stream analytics just because I'm intrigued because it's been a long time since I've started again on YouTube. In fact, I mean, I'm not going to count Formula E because why would I? But 8 years since I started again. I tell you what, it's a hell of a lot more of a fast setting up a YouTube channel now than it used to be. When I started the F1 one, it was just here's a video, instantly monetized. There was not really anybody in the real world F1 YouTube space, and now it's kind of like, hello, can you hear me? And it's a right faff. I had to verify my age about 12 times just to be able to live stream. You'd think my face on the stream would be enough to prove that I'm definitely over 18. A little bit over 18, just a little bit. Who's in big trouble then? So we said Antonelli, didn't we? Lawson hasn't set a time yet. He's just doing it now. He's going in the gap. Might get to go again. I'm not really into Alonso's time. He has 7 laps on those tyres in total by the time he brought them in. So that's a run, which is 3. So he'd already done a run on them, hadn't he, at some point? So, yeah. But Piastri's in trouble. If there is an issue with his power unit, he's in big trouble. Is he moving in the pit lane at the moment? I can't see him on the tracker. But I hope he can get out because he is moving. There we go. Piastri is moving now. So whatever's going on, as Lawson pits, so Lawson's going to come in again and put some new tyres on, I'm guessing. Name a dead YouTube gimmick. F1 Daily. The problem with F1 Daily, and I realised it very, very quickly, was that, you know, people like the United Stand, Mark Goldbridge, and you'll, if you don't know what football club I support, you'll soon find out, Sam over at United People's TV, they can stream every day because there's so much to talk about when it comes to football. When it comes to F1, in between races, it just goes dead and there's nothing to talk about. So F1 Daily was a good idea, but F1 just never had enough news to cover it. So it didn't work in the end for sure, but it was worth a go. It just didn't work. Didn't work. Mansell on Berger was an epic move at the Peraltada, says Pascal. Yeah. John's saying the same there. Incredible move. Was Mexico? Somebody had a big airborne crash. So I'm trying to think of the driver. Somebody pulled into the pits. Another driver went into the back of them and went airborne. Was that Mexico? All I can think of is Mansell and Berger now, because that's who you've mentioned, and that might not be who that was at all. But Max Verstappen then. Is he gearing up for a lap here? Is this a flying lap? It looks like it might be. It is indeed. I mean, technically, it can cover anything actually over here, John T. With it being Formula Sean, we do F2, F3, IndyCar, IMSA, WEC, FE, karting, Strictly. Don't watch Strictly. Anything I want over here, I suppose. Patrese, that was it. I nearly said Patrese. So Berger Patrese. Crash, can't remember the track, says String Base. So that was Portugal. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. They're not Mexico. Don't know what I have Mexico in my head. Similar final corner, maybe, to look at from a distance. Maybe. You know me. 2/10 down Verstappen in the first sector on Norris, but it is a personal best, so he is improving. But clearly Red Bull, at this stage of qualifying, don't have the pace. However, you can't write Max Verstappen off, and if anybody can, Max can. So I'm not going to sit here and say he won't get pole, but yeah. He's 3.5 tenths behind Norris, but does go second. Ocon goes up to 6th place, by the way. We'll count this down now. We've got a minute and a half left. I'll come to you in chat again in a second. We're just going to fly through this final minute and a half and see what happens. But it doesn't... I mean, it should spice up now. But it doesn't feel quite as tight as it was in Q1. But maybe that's because it isn't. Still close. Hamilton goes second, 2 tenths off Norris. A 10.5 clear of Verstappen, so that should be good enough for Hamilton to get through. And said he needs this. Only 6th. 16-7. Russell improving. Ocon improving. Bearman got his lap in, of course, as we know. Ocon no longer improving for some reason, so I don't know what's happened there. A lot of laps still to come here. So 1:16.5 for Russell goes third. Don't want to get on a toe. 1:17 flat is a projected knockout. So really... we've pretty much got a bottom 5 if that's the case, if AWS are right there, or whoever's made that graphic. Because 1:17 flat is Hulkenberg in 11th place, who is not improving. Piastri, 8 thousandths down on Ocon to get through. So Piastri's quick, he's improving, but he's actually down on the time he needs to get through. Not by a lot, but Piastri might be in trouble here. We're watching Alonso as well. We're on board with Alonso. Got Piastri in the picture-in-picture. Tsunoda goes 10th, but I think he's going to be in trouble there, Yuki. 1:16.8. So the idea of a Yuki pole as rapidly appears to be vanishing, but it would have been a nice idea. Piastri into turn 13. Alonso goes 13th, by the way. What can Piastri do here? That is the checkered flag for Q2. Piastri, was he sliding out that final corner? I guess 7th place. He is through. But that was a little bit nervy there for McLaren. Does he have a PU problem, maybe? Or has he got was he the one with the DRS issue? Panicastri. I like that. But yeah, Hadjar scrapes through by a 100th of a second, or 12 thousandths, however you want to say it. He got through, so we've lost Yuki Tsunoda, just Esteban Ocon, Nico Hulkenberg, Fernando Alonso, and Liam Lawson. They're your 5 to join Bortoletto, Albon, Gasly, Stroll, and Colapinto. So that is Q2 done. We've still got Q3 to come, of course, the top 10 shootout. But very much looking forward to this one, because this could be close. Lawson saying 0 grip. I should specify close. I should elaborate on close, really. I don't mean necessarily for pole. Norris is looking good, but I mean behind him is very close. So, I mean, what's that? 800ths back to Russell, 700ths back to Verstappen, 2000ths back to Sainz, half a tenth back to Leclerc. It's very close, and it's sort of behind Norris. So that could be a lot of fun. Turns out this year's title was only an Oscar nomination. Bum. Well, good. Very, very good. Very, very good, John T. Well, good. Very, very good, John T. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but boo, says Navi Pants. Not happy with that pun. That was terrible, but I kind of love it as well, and I rate it, so there you go. I rate the pun very much so. Yeah, it's not been a good run for Oscar, has it? And he needs to be doing something about it now, really. Obvious statement alert. Races are running out. Let's end this poll then. So thank you everyone who voted. What do we get in the end? So 41% of you in the end went with Red Bull for pole. 36% McLaren, probably. Ferrari 18%, and Mercedes are a shock 5%. Thank you for your votes. Don't forget as well to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. Lots to come now for the rest of this season, over the winter, and indeed into next season. And if you love your testing waffles, this will be the place to be. Assuming I can find guests to do 6 days of testing. That's going to get your questions ready now. We're going to need them. Also, just a reminder, the race watch along for the Mexico City Grand Prix will be on the F1 Word tomorrow at about 7:30 p.m. BST. But without sounding like I'm giving up all hope, I get there when I get there. But hopefully on time at around 7:30 UK time. It won't be BST, it'll be GMT because the clock's going back tonight. So it's technically only 8:45 in the UK. 10:15, not 11:15, sorry. So just saying. That's not how time works, sure. But anyway, so yeah. Yeah. It's going to be fun. It'll be fun over there. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how people are going to... I've had a few people who aren't very happy about what's happened, but I know Kevin, who's not here actually, I've noticed, is thinks I'm hiding something about what's happened with Planet F1, but I'm not. I said to him in the comments yesterday that you should all know me better than that. If everything wasn't what I said in that video, then I wouldn't have said it, or I wouldn't have put a video out, or I'd have just told you the truth. So it's all what I said yesterday. So I know what I'm trying to say. If I didn't say it, I didn't say it. But yeah, we'll see how we go. I imagine the numbers might be a bit higher than they are here, but I'm kind of enjoying this. We're having fun. I could ask RC, but I can't force people into. I've kind of lost a bit of contact. I was talking to Will last night, actually, FP1 Will last night, but I sort of saying to him that I want to get back in touch with people because I've kind of lost contact over the last year with a lot of people, so I'd like to get to creators again. It's been a while. Nothing to do with testing streams, just to feel part of it again. Sort of wandered off, so we'll have to have proper waffles on the testing waffles as well, won't we? Definitely. I did see somebody actually say let's see if I find your comment. Lots of you in chat tonight, really appreciate this. Says where are you? Someone said it that Max might not want pole because he might want P2 or P3. Lee said it. There you go. I think Max will want pole because it's Max, but you make we talked about it a little bit earlier in the stream, actually. You make a really great point. It's not all about pole position here at Mexico. P2 or P3, nice little drag down to turn 1, you could be leading, so it's not the worst place to be. Beep I'm a sheep is still stuck in my head. Talking to Jack there. I don't. What's beep I'm a sheep? Tell me more. Nick says it's all about P3. I mean, again, Max. He was P3, wasn't he, when he went around the outside of Hamilton and Bottas, because Bottas left the door wide open on the outside, and he just breezed around the outside, didn't he? So that is the place to be, definitely P3. I'm just going to try. I don't know if it's going to let me do what I want to do here. It's not, is it? No. It's being a bit of a douche about it. Why I said douche, I just did. There we go. I'm going to just... Hopefully this doesn't go full screen. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Just some notes I've got for the session. We're okay there. That's fine, yeah. Watch his arch nemesis Russell take P3 and mess up his run to turn 1. Yeah, probably. He would have got away with it too if it wasn't for that pesky Russell. There you go. I'm astounded by all your F1 memories. I don't remember what happened in Singapore, says Sam. A lot of it's guesswork, Sam, I'll be honest, mate. I got the track wrong for the last two we were talking about. No, I might not know all the technical stuff when it comes to F1. In fact, I know very little, but I'm very good at recalling history, and I could pretty much talk you through the 97 season start to finish quite easily, because it's just embedded in my head. So to sum up, Sean, so this is what they were talking about. We have signed you up for an F1 cooking competition you're starring in. I'll cruise that, mate. I'll cruise that. Sean After Dark is engaged, says Navi Pants. Yep. RC, shut up. Says I can't talk about the 97 season. It's because you're like 12, that's why, RC. And I'm 106, so, you know. Of course you can't. Thank you again, by the way, to Dave the Fish for the donation's the wrong word, isn't it? For the support on Buy Me a Coffee. Appreciate that, mate. I'd shout you out again. I like to do that. So yeah, 97 is easy. Starts with great racing, ends with cheating. No. It doesn't start with great racing at all. It just doesn't. And there's cheating's the wrong word, but there's controversial moments throughout. We are green for Q3, the final session of qualify, of course. Might have a little bit of wait for people to come out, but there was some stuff going on around fuel and speeding under yellow flags and stuff like that, you know, controversy throughout 97. But yeah, right from that first corner, Johnny Herbert, Eddie Irvine, Jacques Villeneuve. Albert Park, God. Hightower Francis brakes exploding. Poor guy. Yeah, Schumacher was innocent in all of that anyway. Sam says, what's the most fun season to rewatch to you beyond 2021? So since 2021. I mean, since 2021, I think 2024 was pretty good. Last year was pretty good. But if we're thinking in general, I mean, nearly said it there, 2012 was chaotic. That's a good one to watch. Oh, other than 2021. Yeah, no. Oh, God. 2010, that's quite underrated. 2012, fantastic season. Is it 6 or 7 different winners in the first 7 races? Something like that. Brilliant season. Start to finish. In fact, right to the end, that was a brilliant season in 2012, if you haven't seen it. 99 is underrated. Great season. 2003, middle of Michael Schumacher's domination-ish. I say middle. But during his domination, nearly... Raikkonen and co taking a fight to him there, nearly causing an upset. 97 was pretty good. 94 was tragic, but also very good as well. 2007 was fantastic. Yeah, it's a great shout as well, RC. Loads of great seasons. Yeah. Right, we're inside the final 10 minutes. Let's keep an eye on quali now, and we'll do a little bit of Q&A. I don't know how long we'll stay live for afterwards, because I don't know how many people are going to stick around, because there's 65 here, and people tend to disappear when we get to the end of these anyway. So we'll see how we go. But I'll stay live for a little bit. We'll answer some more of your questions, but we'll focus on the last 9.5 minutes now that the laps are going to start coming in qualifying. We have got some on the used tyres. So Hadjar, Bearman, Antonelli... possibly Sainz on used tyres at the moment. Right, Max Verstappen. Here we go. John says 2012, and it's not even close. It is nearly 11 p.m. Yeah, these races in the Americas, they get a bit late for quali, don't they? But I quite like this. It's when Sean gets a bit leery, as opposed to when he's always Larry. Verstappen obviously purple in the first set, the first one to do a lap time. So 27.1. About a tenth. So Norris's best in Q2 was a 27 flat. So he's a tenth off that at the moment, Verstappen. What car do you drive, RC? I've never asked you that, mate. Again, through the same corner. The back end not totally happy in that Red Bull, or on that Red Bull. Interestingly. Verstappen then through turn 12. A little bit, not wide, but not clipping that apex particularly perfectly, but doesn't look totally comfortable there, Max, does he at all? As Norris goes fast, say that. He's just on a 16.4. Norris, a couple of tenths up in the middle sector, though. So, yeah. Exactly, Dave. Exactly. Yeah. Over the line goes Norris. Does do a 16.1, so we might slip into the 15s. Unlikely, but it is possible here. Track is ramping up a little bit again. Over the line goes Piastri. That's better from Piastri, but still only P3 and 3 tenths off his teammate. But that's closer than I thought it was going to be based on how things were going. So some time to find out there. So maybe Piastri might be able to get himself right with there. Leclerc's purple in the first sector. Oh, go on. How perfect would a Ferrari pole be on the day that we launched the channel with its first live stream? What do you reckon? I mean, come on. How perfect would that be? I've got to jinx it now. Leclerc's not quick enough in the middle sector to be threatening. He might do. He might do. Yes, sure. There you go. 15.9. We are in the 15s. That's a cracking lap. Nearly 2 tenths quicker than Lando Norris. I'm glad I was going to put the Ferrari shirt on today, but I tend to jinx them when I wear the Ferrari shirt, so I'm glad I didn't now. Here goes Russell over the line, takes P6, half a second off the pace. So it's Leclerc 15.9, Norris 16.1. Then it's Hamilton and Verstappen, Piastri, Russell, Antonelli, Sainz, Hadjar and Bearman. Wow. Honda Civic Sports model, says RC. Oh, cool. Cool. It is looking spicy, Sam. It is, yes. It's not so much... It's a great lap from Leclerc, but I'm looking at the gaps between the drivers. So nearly 2 tenths back to Norris, who's got 2 tenths over Hamilton. But then again, you've got 800ths back to Verstappen, 100ths back to Piastri, 200ths back to Russell. Then it's 3 tenths back to Antonelli. So it's close between sort of Hamilton and Russell in there. So this could be interesting. This could be great fun, actually, this session. Could be. Might be terrible, but it's certainly close. Certainly close, but it's looking like a battle between Leclerc and Norris. That is a cracking lap, though, from Charles Leclerc. I'm assuming it's a more exciting reason for so few finishes in the US Grand Prix. Oh, okay. Talk about the 96 Monaco Grand Prix, I'm guessing. 7-stream basis wants a checkered flag now. Yeah, bring it out now. Red Raven says, my internet dropped for about 30 minutes. I'm not happy to see Tsunoda eliminated, but the top 5 looks interesting. It certainly does. And if it ended like that, I mean, you can never be certain, but you'd fancy Lewis Hamilton to be leading in turn 1, wouldn't you, with that run down to turn 1? But that's a lot of fun as a grid, actually. And again, the potential for Norris to close that gap at the top. Only 14 points now. Piastri can't... Again, long way to go in this season. Long way to go in this weekend yet. But Piastri can't afford any more... Or can't afford to be leaving the door open anymore this season for Norris. He needs to be making sure he's giving it everything. And I mean, I'm sure he's giving it everything, but you know what I mean. Stop him walking through the door, Norris. Because I think let's say Piastri's played his jokers. Let's say, because... Norris wins the next 2 races and Piastri finishes second, they're level on points. So I think Piastri's played his jokers now. He's going to have to... I don't want to say step up because he's won lots of races this season. He's had a fantastic year. He's come a long way over the winter and into this season to be able to challenge for this championship. He's done a great job against Norris, but he's played his jokers now. He's got to crack on. Exactly, Rev Raven. Exactly, yeah. Striking distance indeed. This is it then. 3 minutes and 25 to go. The final part of qualifying, Q3, if you will, is ready to go. Final chances. 1 run. 10 cars. Leclerc looking good. I don't want to get too excited, but that's 0.2 of a second. Is quite a margin, but as we've seen, this track can ramp up, so don't ever write off Verstappen, but I think 4.5 tenths is a lot to find. But again, if anyone's going to, it'll be him. Leclerc, Norris, Hamilton 3 wide into turn 1 sounds good, says Yuri. Yeah, I'd take that. Leclerc, Norris and Hamilton 3 wide into turn 1, Verstappen leading by turn 2. Yeah. Yeah, I quite like that. How is Ferrari's race pace, says Nilesh. I'm not sure, actually, Nilesh. I didn't check their stats before the session. I only saw that Verstappen was not happy, or not completely happy. So Bearman will be first to do a time, then Piastri, Verstappen, possibly Sainz, so it's quite slow out there in a minute. So then it'll be Hadjar, Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc, Antonelli. So Russell's going to be last across the line, is that right? Yeah, Russell will be last across the line, so optimal track conditions, technically speaking. Ferrari's race pace was so-so yesterday, says Pascal. My leg's twitching. We've got a Ferrari P1. I just know we'll somehow throw this away. Here we go then. Oscar Piastri. He needs this lap. P5 is not... And I tell you what, Russell, you'd expect to improve. Antonelli needs to improve. I say that. I don't think P7 for Antonelli will be a bad result today, given where he's been at times. So, Piastri... Oh, just clunking it. You can see the sparks under the car as they clunk that curb. Difficult to get right. So he's a 10th down already, Piastri. He is improving, but still a 10th down over Leclerc, who did a 27 flat. And obviously Piastri's ended on the 27-1. Verstappen, only 300ths off Leclerc in the first sector. This is going to be a fun final 50 seconds, isn't it? Here we go. Has Leclerc done enough? Piastri needs to give it everything through this middle sector. It's such a tricky little section of racetrack, but really challenges the drivers, and it's great to see. Norris on his lap now. Piastri a 10.5 down on Leclerc, so things are closer. He's bringing himself into play, Piastri, but it's all about this stadium section. Bearman goes P5, cracking lap from him. I suspect he might be about to fall down a bit, and Verstappen is in striking distance here. 700ths down. Over the line goes Piastri, only P3, but it is an improvement for him. He's still 2 tenths off of time, but here comes Max Verstappen, who's not going to do it, is he not? Quite. He goes second, though. 800ths off the pole time. So he did find nearly 4 tenths, actually. In fact, it probably was 4 tenths Max Verstappen, so it wasn't too much find. But Lando Norris is absolutely flying out there. That is the checkered flag. Carlos Sainz goes P4 ahead of Oscar Piastri. Great lap. Hamilton not improving. Leclerc is improving. Now Hamilton's improving. In the middle sector, Hadjar goes P6. Around the final corner comes Lando Norris. He's surely got pole in the bag. Wow. Wow, 1:15.5, 4 tenths of a second. What a lap from Lando Norris. Right at the death there. Here goes Leclerc. That's Hamilton over the line, sorry. Into P2. Here comes Charles Leclerc. Can he do it? No, he can't, but he goes on the front row. 2.5 tenths off Lando Norris. Antonelli improving. Russell improving. This is all rather exciting. Antonelli goes 5th. Piastri down to 7th. George Russell. Piastri in big trouble here. That is a lot of ground to make up on a track that's tricky to overtake on as Russell goes P4, Verstappen down to P5. Massive opportunity for Lando Norris tomorrow. He's on pole position. His title rivals are 5th and 8th, Verstappen and Piastri respectively. What a lap. What a lap. Wow. That was, geez. Yeah, I'll run through the order in just a minute, but that is a hell of a lap from Lando Norris, and actually well clear of Leclerc in the end. So, I mean, he's got a fight in his hands tomorrow with his two Ferraris behind him there. They're going to get a great drag down to that turn 1 tomorrow. So he's going to have some defending to do, but yeah, Piastri could do with those Ferraris, getting a bit too feisty with Norris, to be honest, couldn't he? 8th place. What is happening to Oscar Piastri? But again, the gaps between everybody apart from Norris. I mean, Hamilton less than a 10th behind Leclerc. Russell less than a 10th behind Hamilton. Verstappen 300ths behind Russell. Antonelli half a 10th off. Sainz only half a 10th off Antonelli. Piastri 2,000ths off Sainz. Hadjar 800ths off. Bearman a couple of tenths off. But they're so close out there. Wow. Jack says P7 Piastri. Yeah, of course, Sainz will get his grid drop, doesn't he? Because of his infringement in at Kota last weekend. So Piastri does move up to 7th, but he could do with a few others taking penalties, really, couldn't he? So, yeah. All Norris needs to do is inevitably repass the Ferraris and hope Russell does his job against Verstappen, says Neelish. One of the Ferraris needs to take one for the team, thanks, says Max. I enjoyed it, Sean. Great to be here, but got to go sleep now. No worry, Biles. Thank you so much for coming along. Great to see you. Thank you again for your support this week or so. Well, for the last 8 years, really, but certainly last couple of days, it's been lovely to read your messages. Thank you very much. Appreciate it as always, mate. Enjoy your sleep. Might catch you tomorrow over in the F1 word for the race one. Duncan says half a second between Lando and Oscar feels very big. It's massive, isn't it? The gaps between each car are quite small, but that is a big deficit between Norris and Piastri. Things are very much swung, haven't they, Norris's way versus his teammate, really. So RC's off to bed. No night, mate. Have a good one. Dream of top 4 and Man United not being quite as bad as they used to be. Let's run through the order then. I will do a very quick pause for a mouthful of juice, and I'm back with you in 10 seconds. Maybe longer than 10. I did my best. Lando Norris on pole position then for the Mexico City Grand Prix. Cracking lap right at the end to displace Charles Leclerc at 1:15.5, 2.5 tenths clear of Charles Leclerc. Lewis Hamilton in 3rd place. That run down to turn 1 is going to be fun tomorrow with George Russell in P4 and Max Verstappen only P5, but you know, it's Max Verstappen. Watch him tomorrow. 6th for Antonelli. Actually, a really good result for him, given where he's been at times this weekend. 7th for Sainz. He takes a good drop, of course. I believe 5 places. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. So Oscar Piastri, who only managed 8th, will start 7th. But as I've said a couple of times already, this is a massive opportunity for Lando Norris. He has got to take the win tomorrow with his rivals down where they are. It's an opportunity and a half. He's got to go for it. I'm sure he will. Isack Hadjar, P9. He'll move up to P8. It's a really good session for him. Bearman will also move up a position. He was P10 today. We lost Yuki Tsunoda by a few thousandths of a second, if I recall, in 11th, with Ocon 12th, Hulkenberg 13th, Alonso 14th, Lawson 15th, Bortoletto 16th, Albon 17th, Gasly 18th, Stroll 19th, and Colapinto in 20th place. Yes, I'll stay live for a little bit longer. We've still got 49 here or so, so I will stay live for a little bit longer, but as soon as that drops a little bit lower, I'll probably call it there. But yeah, really appreciate the support. I've seen a few are going, so RC's going. Ronald says thanks for the watch on. Best of fortune with the new channel. Thank you very much, Ronald. Thank you for joining me. Really appreciate the support and the view. Hopefully it was a good stream, a good start. Quite similar, let's be honest, to the F1 word, but that's because it's me, so it's going to be. But yes, I'll stay live for a bit, read some of your comments, take any questions, and then we will call it a day from there. But Edgar says that Hamilton for the win in red. He's got a great shot, Edgar, of leading into turn 1 tomorrow. We've seen before, as I've said a couple of times now, that P3, it's a good place to be and could be leading by the end of, by turn 1. I was going to say by the end of that first sector, but by turn 1. So he's got a chance, but I feel like with Pascal saying that their pace yesterday, the race pace was so-so, I feel like McLaren with the better race pace, probably the favourites. I think Norris got a chance here if he can repass the Ferraris quickly, which, you know, I'm not throwing shade, but isn't always a guarantee with Lando. As we've seen the last few race weekends, he doesn't always get the moves done when he needs to. But if he does get through, I feel like he'll disappear. So I kind of, respectfully to Lando, and it's no issue with him at all, he's a lovely guy. But I kind of hope he doesn't immediately pass the Ferraris, because at least then we're going to get a fight. So let's see. If Norris wins this tomorrow, says that Red Raven, he'll have earned it. Absolutely. Ferrari will throw everything into this. Piastri can't afford to drop any more points. Verstappen is condemned to do or die to keep that slim chance. So yeah, I mean, Max has got to get punchy, hasn't he? So that's going to get interesting between him and Russell. Next to each other on the grid could be quite fun tomorrow, couldn't it? That could be great. 7th Street Basis says, thanks guys, thoroughly enjoyed this. I'll be along for the ride on this new channel under 2 hours before the baseball starts. Thank you very much, mate. Enjoy, and if you are interested, I'm live over on the F1 Word tomorrow with the race watch-alongs. I won't be doing race watch-alongs on this channel because well, in complete and total honesty, once I've finished them this season on the F1 Word, the race watch-alongs can how can I word this? Fuck off. It's not that I hate doing them, but I'd rather just watch the race. So I'll be going back to race reactions over here from next season, if not before. So yeah, but I will be live tomorrow on the F1 Word if you're interested. Clansome says, Formula Sean, way! Hey, Clansome. How you doing, mate? Hope you well. Pole position for Lando Norris, mate, if you're just tuning in. Don't want to ruin that for you, but there you go. I've just spoiled the whole session if you're watching late. I apologise. But yeah, the run to turn one's going to be really fun. And it's good to see. I mean, Nick says there, maybe Norris suddenly turned into the GOAT. But, I mean, it's fantastic to see that he has managed to sort of close that gap and keep this interesting. Because there was a point where it looked like it was all falling away, didn't it? So, but he's doing all right, Lando. Red Raven says, fair, but Radio LeSean for F1 was and always is fun. I will always do the quali watch-alongs, Red Raven, because I actually enjoy the quali watch-alongs, because I feel like you still need to pay attention, but you can pay less attention to quali than you have to for the race. So the problem I've always had is if you do a race watch along and then try to do a race reaction, what are you reacting to? Because I've not watched the race, I've been talking to you guys and looking at the timing. I've not just sat back and enjoyed it as a fan, which I think is kind of the most important thing. If I'm not enjoying watching the races, then what's the point anymore? Do you know what I mean? I'm not a fan then, am I? I'm just a commentator. So quali watch-alongs will stay, race watch-alongs will go, and we'll bring back the race reactions is the long-term plan. But obviously, I'll do the race watch-alongs over on the F1 Word for, probably to the end of the season, but certainly the next few races. So I could do sprint watch-alongs, actually, because I don't really care about the sprints. There'll be somebody chatting going, they're better than FP2. Of course, they're better than FP2. I've done things in the bathroom that are better than FP2 or FP3. So, yeah, I get that, but not bothered by the sprint. So I could sit and do sprint watch-along. It's not a bad idea, to be fair. Yeah. A Le Mans watch-along. 24 hours, John T. Yep, you can do that one, mate. I'll pop on as your guest. It can be Formula John T for the day. Or for the day and the night. Or John T just sat there falling asleep. I don't know. You might sit for all of Le Mans. I don't know. Yeah, sprint watch-along's not a bad idea. Maybe, because it's the Brazil and Qatar, isn't there? The last two sprints. We'll see. I could do a Le Mans watch-along, but I have no idea about WEC or anything like that, really. So it'd be a learning process, but it'd be good fun. Duck Rust says I'd watch it. There you go. A few of you would. Dave says nice to probably catch one of these for the first time in a while, and the first new channel on the new channel as well. I remember the old channel grew because of you, and that's why we're all here. Night Stoffel the Waffle. Hashtag Stoffel the Waffle. Thank you very much, Dave. Yes, I've had a few people say, mate, have a good night. Thank you for joining me. I've had a few people say, remember why the F1 Word took off in the first place. It wasn't because of previews and news roundups or anything or daily content. It was about me being me. So that's very much what I want to do here. So I appreciate all of your support. You've been fantastic the last few days. So thank you very much. In fact, to be fair, you've been fantastic the last 7-8 years, most of you. So there you go. I think you'd figure out WEC fairly quickly. I've watched some Nilesh. It's not. I think I'd be able to follow it if that makes sense, but I wouldn't know who everybody was. I probably would actually, because there's that many ex-F1 and whatnot racing drivers over there that I'd know. So, but it would just take me a while to get up to speed with it. So, Rome Flynn is giving out the Pirelli Pole Position Award. He's an actor, apparently. Tell me a film he's been in, guys, and maybe I'll be like, oh, of course it is. I don't recognise him. They're showing so there's an interview with Checo tomorrow pre-race. Something to keep an eye out on Sky. Yeah. That could be interesting to watch. I've seen some quotes, I think. Yeah. Jacques Villeneuve is on again tomorrow, which will be fun. A bit sad the Nürburgring 24 is missing on that list, the F1 word, says Red Raven. Yeah. Is that the one Max did? Or did he do the Nürburgring something else? Yeah. Anyone can make a YouTube channel. It takes personality and good content to make a good one. Thank you, Fudd. I'll try and find a personality. I want a video on how Formula 1 under a Sean management would look. Nick, you'd stop watching, mate. I can promise you. Actually, no. Actually, you probably wouldn't. I know some in chat that would stop watching if I was in charge of F1. But I feel like me and Nick are on a similar wavelength with some things. So actually, you might quite like it. It might have to just be me and you watching. But, you know, who cares? We'd enjoy it. 6 hours, says Duck Rupp. Yes. I knew it wasn't the 24, but there obviously is a 24 hours of the Nürburgring. Max did the 6 hours, so that's 2 rounds and one round of the long distance series. That's a support series made up of 10 Nürburgring races every year. There you go. He didn't get didn't he get his license for that event eventually, like a proper license, Max? Because he didn't, and then there was something about, I can't remember what it was. I don't understand how their licenses work over there, but he has it. Yeah, he has it now. So it would be great. I'd love to see Max. Do you know, if Max Verstappen did a 24-hour race, I probably would watch that, start to finish. No bias, promise. Can I ask about TDC? You can if you like, Jack. Yeah. What's the? Are you wondering what I was getting at? Is that where you're at, Jack? Are you wondering what I was getting at? Because what I was getting at is that weren't they on Car Throttle originally? So I was just saying the fact you were talking about them on the first stream on my new channel had a ring of irony about it. Yeah. He did one race in a smaller car to qualify, won the race in the big car, the Ferrari GT3 with his license. Okay, yeah, that rings a bell, actually, yeah. Thank you, appreciate that, yeah. Oh, the pennies dropped for Jack. That noise you heard was a penny dropping for Jack. Any questions? Actually, I'll tell you what, rather than questions, we've still got 42 people here, so let's throw your predictions in tomorrow. Your top 3... We'll do the end of the race. The top 3 at the end of the race. Who's going to win it? Who's going to be second? Who's going to be third? My predictions, I believe, on Thursday on the F1 word was a Max win. I think I went Piastri second and Russell third. And I'm confident on none of that. No, they didn't. No, not at all, Jack. They didn't slight me in any way. I liked Car Throttle. Not so much anymore. I think the lad that hosts, the main host now, actually, I think he's actually all right. He's doing a good job, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I quite like the Car Throttle. I think they were all right. I enjoyed their content, but yeah, things happened. Yes, I was thinking that Red Raven a bit ago. I was thinking I haven't seen a net tonight, but I imagine what's the time in Melbourne actually? Good shout. It is 9:15 in the morning, so she's probably just getting up. So yeah, I can imagine she's probably a little bit disappointed with what's happening with Piastri. But look, you know, if Norris wins tomorrow, maybe Piastri finishes 4th. It's a big hit in the championship, but there's still got 4 races to go, haven't we, after that? So Piastri won't be out of it, but It's interesting to me that a lot of bookies aren't putting him as a favourite at the minute. And he's top of the championship, so that says a lot about his form, doesn't it? If we ever listen to the bookies, of course. But let's read your predictions then. Jonty just had an idea. Am I going to get a message, or is he going to pop up in chat? It's just like, oh, I've just had an idea. There you go. So golf ball's going Norris, Russell, Leclerc. Norris, Verstappen, Leclerc for Nilesh. Nick says Leclerc, Norris and Russell. It'll be a message apparently. I'll be honest, John. I originally read that as massage, and I was like, that's an effort. It's quite a distance to travel. Anyway, yeah, Nick says Leclerc, Norris and Russell. Pascal says Hamilton, Norris, Verstappen and Hulkenberg in the points. I like to do a Sauber assessment when you give me a Sauber prediction, Pascal. Yeah, 13th to points for Hulkenberg. That's doable. Might need a bit of help, but he's going to get a good run down to turn 1, isn't he? So I think we're going to have chaos in turn 1 somewhere tomorrow. Poor Yuki Tsunoda last year, wasn't it? His RB was backwards into turn 1. Well, before turn 1, wasn't he? Red Raven says Norris, Hamilton and Leclerc. Nick's gone with I predict a safety car on lap 1. Nilesh confused car throttle with throttle house. Not heard of throttle house, but I will go check them out after this. Duncan says Norris, Leclerc and Piastri. I'm going to go... I keep forgetting I've got the rocking function on this. I keep thinking it'll fall off or fall backwards. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Immediate clip from the stream for you there. I'm going to go tomorrow with Norris, Verstappen, Leclerc. I'll go Hamilton on there. Why not? Let's put a Ferrari on and go with Hamilton. Let's say all falls apart for Leclerc because they put the wets on at the first pit stop when it's bone dry or something. I don't know. It's Ferrari strategy. But yeah, no. Yeah. Perfect way to launch a new channel. Top post on live stream fails. Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it, Fud? Great stuff. I can see. I agree with Nick, actually. I can see a safety car end of lap 1 before the end of lap 1. I can see it. Which, if there is one, I'll get to use this graphic. It's not working. Yeah, hey! I tell you, it's been so much fun setting these up. I don't know why it just has, but yeah, it would be pretty cool. Latox has gone with Leclerc, Norris, and Verstappen for a top 3. I like that over Leclerc win. Verstappen P3 with Piastri somewhere down in 4th, 5th place would be interesting, wouldn't it? It keeps things spicy, but I like I say, I really hope we don't end up in a position where, you know, Max has got himself back into it, and we've got a 3-horse race, and then we lose that a week later. That'd be such a shame, because I'm looking forward to Norris versus Piastri for the championship in Abu Dhabi, because I still think it goes down to the wire, but I'd really love Verstappen to be in that mix as well. Like, I don't know, 10 points covering the top 3. Or equal on points if that's possible. That'd be even better, wouldn't it? But there you go. Norris wins this, says Red Raven, and Piastri comes 5th. Piastri leads the championship by 1. Bring it on. I'll tell you what then, we're going to wrap it up there. No, we won't. We'll go to half past. I like to go to it on a half hour of the hour, so we'll go to half past. I was just going to ask you who you think is going to win the title this year, but I might save that for... We'll save that for after Brazil, because then we've got a triple header. That's a perfect time to do it, actually. Yeah, a nice triple header. To look forward to for the season finale. A triple header, which, by the way, while you're getting your final questions in, really still infuriates me. I really don't understand why we need the triple header for the finale. And I really don't get why we're going from Mexico. We're going US, Mexico. Makes sense. Gap to Brazil. Fair enough. Could have done a triple header, but never mind. Gap to Brazil. Fair enough. Then we've got a gap to Vegas. And then it's Vegas to Qatar to Abu Dhabi. The season could have been shuffled around. I'm looking at that gap we had in the summer where we had like 3 weeks between Silverstone and Belgium. You could have moved everything forward, and then you could have had Austin and Mexico double header, Brazil and Vegas double header, and then Qatar and Abu Dhabi double header. Would have made so much more sense. But then this is F1, so... And Vegas is a 4 a.m. start in the UK. And as I said last week on the F1 word, there will not be a race watch along for that at the moment because it just ain't happening. It's just not. 18-hour flight from Vegas to Doha, apparently. Just straight. I just look at that gap, Silverstone to Spa, I think it was. Still bugs me. And that's the perfect... Just shuffle the races forward a week. But then I guess you've got contracts and summer break needs to be specific weeks, so maybe that's not possible. It's all right sitting here, isn't it, saying that and trying to jig things around. But I just feel like it could have been done better. But I suppose they also want to make sure Vegas is as far away from the races in the Americas as it can be on the calendar. But yeah, I don't know. I would be a great manager, Nick. Canada and Miami frustrates me. We've got to have... I'm glad they've kind of put them together on a calendar, but we've got to have like a 3-week break or something between them because of climate. So, I don't know. It's weird. They're getting there with the calendar, but there's little... It's just the little frustrations. It just needs refining a bit more. But I can't imagine... in F1's defense, the headache of contracts and climate and even, you know, the politics of the region, whatever, you know, things like religion, which means that things have to be moved around for Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. It must be such a headache organising it. So I'll give them that, but also stop it. Do you know Buxton left F1? Could it be because of his criticism of McLaren, says Edgar? I don't think so. I think that was just because he went off to do the IndyCar. Is he still lead commentator in IndyCar? So I don't think, Edgar, that it was anything he said. And he's certainly more outspoken now since he left, isn't he? So I think that was just because he got an opportunity to do IndyCar. And I think I've heard a lot of people say he's actually doing really well over there. So some people are not a fan, but I think Will Buxton's a bit like Marmite, I think, really. Addy Boy says, the thing as the championship stands now, Max can catch Lando, but Max might catch Piastri. So as long as Piastri loses out tomorrow, it will be a close three-way. Yeah, that's true. That's true. John says, and on the flip side, they won't even cancel the race when there's missile strikes less than 5 miles from the track. Well, there is that. There is that. But I mean, come on. God. Yeah. Kieran says, Buxton, quote, you have to win to finish first. There you go. Neelis says, everything about Vegas is just so wrong. Why does the race start at 11 p.m. local time, which is 1 a.m. for a significant portion of the country like New York? Yeah, they've not timed it well. It's also on a Saturday, isn't it, as well? In Vegas and other places. It's still Sunday in Europe. But yeah, it's... Not the race itself or the event itself, just the timing of it is just very strange. The way they've sort of scheduled it in the calendar, the way they've timed the sessions, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But you can't race in Vegas in the day, can you? That's the joy. We could, I suppose. Boil the tyres would be brilliant, but yeah. Yeah. I don't know. 11 p.m. is early for Vegas, says Nick. That's true. It's because they think it's Vegas. Look at the lights. True. Yeah. VSC for missile strikers. Yeah, only a virtual safety car or double waved yellows for missile strikes. I'll never forget those photos. You sort of a little reminder that in F1 there's so much going on around it in the real world. Then we're in our little bubble all the time, aren't we? There's just smoke in the background from a missile strike as cars are flying around on the track, and it's yeah. Yeah, weird sport at times. Any more questions? Let's see if there's anything from tomorrow's race. We've done predictions. Let me know if anyone who really stood out for you in qualifying today will be a good question to wrap up on, actually, for me to throw at you guys. Your qualifier of the day. Probably Lando Norris with a lap like that right at the end. That was a cracking lap, but I think Sainz did well up in 7th place. Yes, he gets a grid drop, but he's got to be on that list, I would say. Both the Ferraris as well. George Russell, I mean, he's Mr. Saturday, but goodness me. Or is he Mr. Saturday? Is he still Mr. Saturday? And there's quite a few out there that impressed me today. Even Antonelli to a point. I mean, we were looking at one point like he might be out in Q1, and all of a sudden he's up in P6 at the end of it all. So great. Stroll wasn't last, says Kieran. Yeah, Stroll all the way. Stroll all the way. Foot says Norris, Sainz and Bearman for qualifiers of the day. Pascal's gone with Hamilton. Yeah, I like the Stroll he was at last. That's quite funny. What exactly happened to Sainz is now not just beating Albon, but demolishing him like this. One Williams high, one very low. Only now that feels flipped around. I kind of touched that earlier. It's sort of weird how that's shifted Red Raven between the two. I mean, Sainz says he's been quick all year. He just couldn't get the maximum out of the car. But it seems to have, whatever they've done to that Williams, maybe it's the tracks are just suiting Sainz. I don't know, but now he's got to grips with that car, and whatever Williams have done to it, it's working a treat, isn't it, for him? So all of those naysayers who thought Williams should look at replacing Sainz at the end of the year are suddenly going, okay, maybe not. It's a new team. I said in the Hamilton video I did a few I think it's a summer break actually. Got to remember as well that it's kind of a weird time to move teams because you're moving to a car that's not going to get a lot of development, that you've had absolutely no say in, and all the work is towards next year rather than this year. So it's actually it was quite a tricky year to move teams. So I was always going to cut people like Sainz and Hamilton and others some slack. So next year's where I'm really going to start judging people. You know me, I like to judge people. But I'm not sure if there's anything specific that's worked out for Sainz or whether he has just clicked with the car. But yeah, Albon had bad warm-up today, says Nilo. So that's maybe a factor there. Williams is super warm-up sensitive compared to everyone else, according to Sainz. So maybe that's what it is then, just bad warm-up for Albon. He did go at an odd time as well, didn't he, Albon? He went in the gap a little bit. So maybe not optimal track conditions, but it's more than just that because it's been several weekends now, hasn't it? But it's a fun battle, that one. Alfie feels judged, and so you should, Alfie. I'm judging everybody. We'll leave it there for today, then. Thank you once again to everybody who tuned in today. We didn't hit the numbers of the F1 word, but we were never going to do that. So I'm really, really happy that somebody turned up, and it turned out to be quite a few of you. So thank you so much for your support today. Please do drop a like if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything coming up. Video content coming very soon, next week, all being well. Qualifying watch-alongs for the rest of the season. We'll be bringing back race reactions at some point, and it sounds like we're also going to be doing sprint watch-alongs as well, because that's kind of become a thing now. So let's see how we go with that. Watch me try and find the excuse for Brazil, but I'll think about it and see how we go. And don't forget as well, I will be live again tomorrow, but I'll be alive, hopefully for a good few years yet. Goodness me. But I'll be live tomorrow on the F1 word for the race watch on, because I don't want to bring those here because they're not going to be a thing next year, just the quali ones next season, the reactions. So make sure I'm sure you've got your notifications on for the F1 word. So keep an eye out there where we'll watch the race along together tomorrow. And hopefully a really good race. I'm stalling because I'm not quite sure what my outro is going to be. I think I got it pretty much bang on in the video. I think I was happy with it. I don't know. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean. This has been Formula Sean. I nearly did it. And until next time, goodbye.